You're listening to the Cyberwire Network, powered by N2K.
And now, a word from our sponsor, Black Kite. If third-party risk is keeping you up at night, you're not alone. It's a constant battle. Black Kite's third-party cyber risk platform is built on real-world threat intelligence, straight from their research team's ongoing breach analysis, dark web monitoring, and attacker tactics. That means you get a hacker's eye view of your supply chain to proactively spot risks. And speaking of research, they just dropped their 2025 third-party breach report, breaking down last year's biggest trends and what's coming next. Grab the report now at www.blackkite.com.
Updates from RSAC 2025. Former NSA Cyber Chief Rob Joyce warns that AI is rapidly approaching the ability to develop high-level software exploits. An FBI official warns that China is the top threat to U.S. critical infrastructure. Mandiant and Google raise alarms over widespread infiltration of global companies by North Korean IT workers. France accuses Russia's Fancy Bear of targeting at least a dozen French government and institutional entities. SonicWall has issued an urgent alert about active exploitation of a high-severity vulnerability in its secure mobile access appliances. A China-linked APT group known as TheWizards is abusing an IPv6 networking feature. Gremlin Stealer emerges as a serious threat. A 23-year-old Scottish man linked to the Scattered Spider hacking group has been extradited from Spain to the United States. Senators urge FTC action on consumer neural data. New WordPress malware masquerades as an anti-malware plugin. Our guest is Andy Cao from ProjectDiscovery, the winner of the 20th annual RSAC Innovation Sandbox contest. Our intern Kevin returns with some Kevin on the Street interviews from the RSAC floor. And research reveals the risk of juice jacking isn't entirely imaginary. Today is Thursday, May 1st, 2025. I'm Maria Varmazes, in for Dave Bittner, and this is your CyberWire Intel Briefing. Happy Thursday, everybody. Let's get into it. Day 3 of the RSAC 2025 conference concluded, having delivered a packed agenda of insights, warnings, and inspiration. The day opened with Dmitry Alperovich's keynote, World on the Brink, offering a sobering look at rising Indo-Pacific tensions and how cyber warfare is now central to geopolitical instability. Kevin Mandia followed with his annual State of Cyber address, highlighting the evolving CISO role, AI's growing influence, and resilience strategies. He was joined by journalist Nicole Perlroth for a sharp analysis of the year's major threats and what lies ahead. In a shift from technical talk, NBA legend Magic Johnson took the stage, drawing parallels between sports leadership and cybersecurity teamwork in The Art of the Assist. A fireside chat between GCHQ director Ann Keast Butler and Chris Inglis emphasized the need for cross-sector collaboration. And the day closed with a SANS Institute's breakdown of the 5 most dangerous new attack techniques and how to prepare for them. We will continue our coverage of RSAC 2025 over the next few days. Speaking of, at RSAC, former NSA Cyber Chief Rob Joyce warned that AI is rapidly approaching the ability to develop high-level software exploits. Joyce, who is now an advisor to Sandfly Security, predicted that AI could become a reliable exploit developer as soon as this year or the next. He pointed to AI's strong performance in coding contests and the recent Hack the Box challenge, where an AI team nearly matched top human competitors. While he's not worried about AI creating script kiddie attackers, he cautions that AI will enable skilled hackers to work faster and at scale. AI also enhances phishing attacks by generating convincing personalized emails, even with fake email threads and PDFs. On defense, AI offers speed advantages, like reversing complex code in seconds instead of hours. Joyce also shared a clever ransomware attack that pivoted to a Linux video camera to encrypt data, highlighting how attackers exploit weak spots in unexpected places. Elsewhere at the RSAC conference, FBI Deputy Assistant Director Cynthia Kaiser called China the top threat to U.S. critical infrastructure. She said Chinese state-backed hackers are increasingly using AI to boost their cyber capabilities. This includes crafting fake business profiles, launching more convincing spear phishing campaigns, and improving early-stage network scans. While AI isn't yet creating shape-shifting malware, it's enhancing targeting efforts. Kaiser stressed the importance of multi-factor authentication as a defense against these evolving AI-powered threats. Joining us this week from RSAC 2025, we have our partner, Kevin McGee, Global Director of Cybersecurity Startups at Microsoft for Startups. Today, Kevin is joined by Shane Harding, CEO of Devicey, and Nathan Ostrowski, co-founder of Petra Security.
I'm Nathan Ostrowski. I'm one of the founders at Petra Security. We detect M365 breaches. We live in San Francisco, so the trip here was pretty short and pretty sweet.
Awesome. So, how was the trip here? Not too bad.
Kind of great. Hey, 20-minute Uber, you can't beat it.
Awesome. Well, that was better than mine. What themes are you looking to see at the show this year?
To talk my own book, I feel like BECs are going up like crazy, and I'm always looking for people who are solving them in cool ways. Also, agentic AI is without a doubt the theme of, I feel like, every presentation this entire year, so I'm interested in what people are doing.
Any cool sessions you're looking forward to seeing?
Also going to give a biased take. One of my friends runs a company called Run Sybil. They are doing some really, really cool things with automated red teaming, and I'm super excited to see what they have on stock.
Awesome. Anyone else you're looking to connect with here at RSA?
Hey, RSA is the craziest event of the year. There's always something unexpected, and that's what I'm looking for, frankly, the unexpected.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Shane Harding, CEO of Devicey. Right, just flew in 22 hours from Melbourne, Australia. So feeling a little bit jet lagged, but absolutely pumped to be here, right? For us, I think, this year's a really big year for us as we're having a look at the impact we're going to have across cyber. And particularly from an RSA perspective, and we've already kicked it off, is this movement around sort of the agentic impact that's going to happen. And for us, we think about this more from a software as a service, transitioning to services software. And maybe finally, the ability to actually drive outcomes, right? Instead of just additional workflows and buttons. And for us, and why that's important for what we do and for organizations is we think we focus on what is the hardest but often boring part of cyber, and that's getting the foundations right, particularly across the endpoints, right? Getting your policies, your applications, all of that in order initially and then consistently and forever. The things that no one else wants to do. And so what better way than to provide knowledge-based, dynamically driven workflows into an organization while still keeping them in control. And even the kickoff from Microsoft perspective talked about this, right? How do agents, or sort of this agentic movement, allow for humans to still be involved in the workflow at the right time, but without having to do the mundane, boring things, right? And so we really find the synthesis of human and agent as we move forward. And if I compare it to last year, I think when we have a look at the patterning that started to develop, we can see the sophistication in the space and the real acceleration of trying to understand how we're going to move into this area. A year ago, it felt new, it felt clunky. Now we're starting to understand that interplay, and just to see how many companies are innovating in the space sort of gives us, and I know my broader team, so much encouragement in the direction that we're heading, because for the first time, I think we can taste actually solving meaningful problems in a complete way, instead of sort of pretending that those problems are being solved, while just giving someone another button to click and forcing them down another clunky workflow that they've got to build their business around.
Thank you to Kevin McGee from Microsoft for coming to us from RSAC 2025. Mandiant and Google are raising alarms over widespread infiltration of global companies by North Korean IT workers, a threat more pervasive than previously believed. At RSAC 2025, Mandiant CTO Charles Carmichael revealed that most Fortune 500 firms have unknowingly received job applications and often hired North Korean nationals. These operatives earn high salaries, often holding multiple jobs, funneling millions of dollars back to Pyongyang. While initially seen as a revenue strategy, the risk has escalated, with some ex-employees resorting to extortion after termination. Mandiant and Google warned that these insiders could leak data or disrupt critical systems, especially under pressure. Evidence links some of the operatives to IP addresses used by North Korea's intelligence bureau, suggesting potential handovers of access to state-sponsored threat actors. Though companies are catching and removing infiltrators more quickly, the embedded nature of these actors poses a significant long-term cybersecurity risk to corporate and national infrastructure. France has publicly accused Russian state-backed hacking group APT-28, also known as Fancy Bear and linked to the GRU, of targeting or compromising at least a dozen French government and institutional entities. Active since 2004, APT-28 has increasingly focused on espionage using phishing, vulnerability exploitation, and brute force attacks, often with low-cost, disposable infrastructure. The French cybersecurity agency ANSSI and Cyber Crisis Coordination Center identified attacks on local governments, ministries, research institutions, and think tanks, including efforts targeting the 2024 Olympics. APT-28 has used tools like the Headlace Backdoor and Ocean Map Stealer, hiding infrastructure behind compromised routers and free services. France condemned these cyber attacks as a violation of UN norms and vowed to respond, highlighting past incidents including interference in the 2017 French elections and attacks on TV5 Monde. The government pledged continued vigilance and coordinated defense with international partners. SonicWall has issued an urgent alert about active exploitation of a high-severity vulnerability in its secure mobile access appliances. The flaw allows authenticated attackers with admin access to execute arbitrary commands, risking full system compromise. Initially disclosed in December 2023, it is now being weaponized in real attacks. SonicWall urges customers to upgrade firmware, audit devices for unauthorized access, and strengthen authentication practices immediately. A China-linked APT group known as TheWizards is abusing an IPv6 networking feature to conduct adversary-in-the-middle attacks and hijack software updates on Windows systems, according to ESET. Active since at least 2022, the group targets entities in Asia and the Middle East, including individuals and gambling firms. Their tool, called Spellbinder, exploits IPv6's stateless address auto-configuration by sending spoofed router advertisement messages, tricking nearby systems into routing traffic through attacker-controlled gateways. Spellbinder is deployed via a fake AVG archive and uses DLL sideloading to load malicious code into memory. It captures traffic to Chinese software update domains, redirects requests, and installs the WizardNet backdoor for persistent access. ESET warns that organizations should monitor IPv6 traffic or disable IPv6 if not required. This tactic mirrors similar supply chain hijacking seen in January by another APT group called Blackwood. A new malware dubbed Gremlin Stealer has emerged as a serious threat, targeting sensitive data like credit cards, browser cookies, and credentials. Discovered by Palo Alto Networks' Unit 42, the malware, written in C#, by the way, is aggressively promoted on Telegram and uses advanced techniques to bypass browser protections. It harvests data from browsers, cryptocurrency wallets, apps like Telegram and Discord, and exfiltrates it all via a Telegram bot or a dedicated server. With ongoing development and a polished user interface, Gremlin Stealer signals a growing, professionalized cybercrime threat. Krebs on Security reports that Tyler Robert Buchanan, a 23-year-old Scottish man linked to the Scattered Spider hacking group, has been extradited from Spain to the United States to face charges of wire fraud, conspiracy, and identity theft. Prosecutors allege that Buchanan and co-conspirators hacked dozens of companies, stealing over $26 million, primarily through SMS phishing and SIM swapping attacks back in 2022. Victims included Twilio, DoorDash, and MailChimp. The FBI tied Buchanan to the phishing campaign using domain registration data and IP addresses linked to his UK residence. Buchanan fled the UK after being targeted by a rival gang and was arrested in Mallorca in 2024. U.S. authorities seized 20 digital devices, revealing stolen credentials and crypto wallet transactions involving 391 Bitcoin. Buchanan is one of 5 indicted in November 2024 as investigators continue probing Scattered Spider's broader cybercrime operations, including links to ransomware attacks on MGM and Caesars. On April 28, 2025, U.S. Senators Chuck Schumer, Maria Cantwell, and Ed Markey urged the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, to scrutinize consumer neurotechnology companies over the handling of neural data. They highlighted concerns that brain-computer interface, or BCI devices, ranging from medical implants to consumer-grade wearables, collect sensitive neural information capable of revealing mental health conditions and emotional states, often without adequate user consent or transparency. The senators called for the FTC to investigate potential unfair or deceptive practices under Section 5 of the FTC Act, to assess data transfers to foreign entities under Section 6B, to clarify how existing privacy standards apply to neural data, and to enforce the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPPA, to safeguard minors' neural information. They also recommend initiating rulemaking to establish clear safeguards for neural data, ensuring that protections extend beyond existing biometric and health data rules, and setting appropriate limits on secondary uses such as AI training or behavioral profiling. A sophisticated malware strain is targeting WordPress sites by masquerading as a legitimate anti-malware plugin. Discovered by WordFence on January 22, 2025, this malware grants attackers persistent access through remote code execution, admin privilege escalation, and JavaScript injection for adware. It employs stealth tactics, such as hiding from the plugin dashboard and modifying wp-cron.php to reinstall itself upon deletion. The malware communicates with a CNC server in Cyprus every minute, reporting site details. WordFence released detection signatures to premium users in January, with free users receiving updates by May 23, 2025. Stick around after the break. Dave Bittner sits down with Andy Cao from ProjectDiscovery, winner of the 20th annual RSAC Innovation Sandbox contest. Plus, juice jacking, not just a myth.
Let's be real. Navigating security compliance can feel like assembling IKEA furniture without the instructions. You know you need it, but it takes forever and you're never quite sure if you've done it right. That's where Vanta comes in. Vanta is a trust management platform that automates up to 90% of the work for frameworks like SOC 2, ISO 27001, and HIPAA, getting you audit-ready in weeks, not months. Whether you're a founder, an engineer, or managing IT and security for the first time, Vanta helps you prove your security posture without taking over your life. More than 10,000 companies, including names like Atlassian and Quora, trust Vanta to monitor compliance, streamline risk, and speed up security reviews by up to 5 times. And the ROI? A recent IDC report found Vanta saves businesses over $500,000 a year and pays for itself in just 3 months. For a limited time, you can get $1,000 off Vanta at vanta.com/cyber. That's VANTA.com/cyber. Secure access is crucial for U.S. public sector missions, ensuring that only authorized users can access certain systems, networks, or data. Are your defenses ready? Cisco's Security Service Edge delivers comprehensive protection for your network and users. Experience the power of zero trust and secure your workforce wherever they are. Elevate your security strategy by visiting cisco.com/go.sse. That's cisco.com/go/sse.
Andy Cao of ProjectDiscovery was recently named the winner of the 20th annual RSAC Innovation Sandbox contest at RSAC 2025. While at the conference, Dave Bittner caught up with him to discuss the event. Here's their conversation.
Who is the winner of the 2025 20th anniversary Innovation Sandbox competition? ProjectDiscovery.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
You crossed the finish line. You must be full of adrenaline right now. How are you feeling?
I'm absolutely thrilled. And I think this is really a testament to our contributors, our global community, people who have believed in our open source tools from day one, and the people who wrote the first lines of code to Nuclei. And I think it's really an opportunity to show the industry that open source really is possible in security.
So for folks who aren't familiar with your tools, who couldn't be here today, give us the really brief description of what you all do.
We're solving vulnerability management with an open source tool that thinks like an attacker. So we're not looking at traditional version matching that generate tons of noise that traditional scanners do. We help identify exploitable risks and help teams automate their vulnerability management workflows.
Why was the Innovation Sandbox on your radar to be here?
I mean, this is the event. I have sat for years in the seats wishing that one day I'd have an opportunity to tell the story about ProjectDiscovery. And today is just really a dream come true. But I think in security, it's such a crowded landscape. It can be really hard to tell a unique story. And just to have the stage and the audience to be able to tell that is just such a special opportunity.
As you sat out there today and you saw who you were up against, what sort of things were going through your mind?
Oh my God. I mean, every single one of these companies deserve to get this. I mean, the stuff that we're all working on, I mean, security is just so big. And I really wish that everyone could walk away with one of these. But I have nothing but respect for all the other presenters. They did such a good job.
What's next?
Growing. I mean, we have a big pipeline, but we're so excited to scale this even more and get the word out there. So many people love Nuclei. They have no idea that there's a company behind it with a cloud solution that can bring value in minutes. And so we're really excited to get that out there and just grow and bring on more customers.
For that person who's sitting out there today, just the way you were, year after year, who's thinking maybe we have a shot at it, what's your advice?
Practice. I rehearsed thousands of times in front of the mirror, just believe in the vision, tell a differentiated story, and come with energy. You know, it's the crowd's looking for something unique, and just really, really sell it. Yeah.
Congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you so much, Dave.
That was Andy Cao from ProjectDiscovery, winner of the 20th annual RSAC Innovation Sandbox contest, speaking with Dave Bittner. If you'd like to learn more about the Innovation Sandbox contest, check out the link in our show notes.
Cyber threats are evolving every second, and staying ahead is more than just a challenge, it's a necessity. That's why we're thrilled to partner with ThreatLocker, the cybersecurity solution trusted by businesses worldwide. ThreatLocker is a full suite of solutions designed to give you total control, stopping unauthorized applications, securing sensitive data, and ensuring your organization runs smoothly and securely. Visit threatlocker.com today to see how a default deny approach can keep your company safe and compliant.
And finally, despite years of skepticism and scaremongering about juice jacking, new research reveals that the risk isn't entirely imaginary. Imagine that. Security researchers have uncovered a method called choice jacking that defeats both Apple and Google's decade-old mitigations designed to stop malicious chargers from accessing your phone's data. The attack abuses weaknesses in the USB protocol and OS-level trust models, allowing chargers to spoof user input and hijack file access permissions. It works on 10 of 11 tested devices and can steal files in under 30 seconds if the attacker controls the charger and the device is vulnerable. Still, it's worth noting that there are no known real-world attacks of this kind. The biggest risk remains for Android phones with USB debugging enabled. Apple and Google have issued fixes, but many Android devices haven't adopted them. So while juice jacking still sounds like a hacker horror story, some caution around public chargers might be justified, barely. And that's the Cyberwire. For links to all of today's story, check out our daily briefing at thecyberwire.com. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing world of cybersecurity. If you like the show, please share a rating and review in your podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to cyberwire@n2k.com. We're privileged that N2K Cyberwire is part of the daily routine of the most influential leaders and operators in the public and private sector. From the Fortune 500 to many of the world's preeminent intelligence and law enforcement agencies. N2K makes it easy for companies to optimize your biggest investment, your people. We make you smarter about your teams while making your teams smarter. Learn how at n2k.com. N2K's senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our Cyberwire producer is Liz Stokes. We're mixed by Trey Hester, with original music and sound design by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I'm Maria Varmazis, in for Dave Bittner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.
And now a word from our sponsor, SpyCloud. Identity is the new battleground, and attackers are exploiting stolen identities to infiltrate your organization. Traditional defenses can't keep up. SpyCloud's holistic identity threat protection helps security teams uncover and automatically remediate hidden exposures across your users, from breaches, malware, and phishing to neutralize identity-based threats like account takeover, fraud, and ransomware. Don't let invisible threats compromise your business. Get your free corporate darknet exposure report at spycloud.com/cyberwire and see what attackers already know. That's spycloud.com/cyberwire.